Okay, I think we're live here. Check 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? It's not even pointed towards my mouth. Hold on, let's see what we can do here. Check, check, check. Is that better? Hello, Paul. Hello, Elmar. Hello, Sam, Dave, Nick, Amnon. All right, Nick, I'm counting on you to have all those NDI licenses installed. He's alive. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Wonder what the latency is today. Latency. How can we check that? I guess we could pick up another window and see what it looked like. Yeah, we got that. We can do that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We could go there. And we could go to the YouTube dashboard and go to the live streaming tab. So what's going on with you guys today? I know Dave and the World of Live Streaming crew is recovering from Streamfest. And oops, that's the wrong account. Let's go to that account. 8 seconds in Germany. Okay. Let's see. Let's get a little mark here. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. Yeah, it looks like about 10 seconds here. Just judging this this little counter right here compared to what it is on the stream. Yeah, it's almost exactly 10 seconds here. Okay, that's interesting. That's helpful. Helpful. And what did we learn this week? Well, I did a streaming idiot thing on Saturday as I attempted to do some things on the World of Live Streaming Streamfest live on Saturday night that I had not tested in advance. And I had played them through my head a bunch of times. In fact, I'd stayed up late Friday night worrying about it. But I wasn't anywhere where I could do anything. And Saturday we were on the road all day, going to pick up grandchildren and bringing them back. So that's been out of pocket. But I did test yesterday, and I did confirm the test this morning. So I'm going to show you all the secrets from, well, not all the secrets, but some of the secrets from the Streamfest broadcast. Yeah, Streamfest broadcast. The lighting on your face is kind of lower than usual. Well, I can get lowered. Actually, I think, you know, in the past I've had the fluorescence on by accident, and I was trying to get away from that. Let's see how it looks on the regular shot. Do we need to lighten that up a little bit? Let's see here. And that's the chroma keyed version. That's the non-chroma keyed version. Do some collar work. Let's just look and see. Looks like everything is zeros here, so let's try that. So that's a little lighter. Basically, I just did a basic autocorrect in vMix on the color correction tab. So that might help a little bit. What did it change? It changed the gain. And it didn't change the lift. And it changed the gamma just a tad. Didn't change the hue, didn't change the saturation. So we'll leave it like that for a moment. And let's see how it looks with the main shot. Yeah, there we go. That's not bad. I did get a little sun the other day. This is a robot speaking. Good evening. Yeah, Rudy, I bet you're just wiped out. All the work you did on the weekend and all the hiking you've done ever since. It is lighter. Okay. Well, thank you, Amnon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. So, yeah, Chris is here now. Rudy's here. And Richard, welcome. Glad to have you. I put a notice on the Webcasters Facebook group this morning talking about this little trick or hack that the Streamfest used to pass off, to hand off. I like it. They handed off the live stream from one source. That would be, I assume it was Giles in England, and they handed it off to Dave in Southern California. And so we'll show how they did that today. And I've got all sorts of bars and charts and such to make that easier. It's morning for Chris. Early morning, I think. Yes, indeed. And for those of you that might be interested, next week, Dennis Washington is coming on the show to talk about the high tech in churches and marketing. So we're going to have a go at church marketing next week, as it has to do with live streaming, of course, because live streaming is a big part of it. And I don't want to give away all the stuff we're going to talk about, because you won't stay for the show if I tell it to you now. And by the way, it looks like today's show might just start on time, because I've got all my ducks in a row and everything appears to be working at the moment anyway. And I know one thing we need to do. Oh boy, this would have been a foul up to not have done this. Let's go here. Let's go here. Yeah. Save that. And let's see what happens when we do that. Check. How are we doing? All right. It's almost 7 o'clock in the morning for Chris. Holy cow. Amnon says there's no higher tech than Tommy's presentation from his church. Well, I tell you what, Tommy has got a very loyal audience, because they're folks that are in the position of, they don't have a budget. They don't have a line item that they can spend. It's basically what they can afford out of their own pocket and beg, borrow, or steal from everybody else. And sometimes that's what it takes to make the case, to prove the case, to say, hey, this is viable. This may not be perfect, but it's a glimpse at what can be done. Edward has joined us. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you. Davo is here. Lovely. And Amnon says it works. That's right. It does. And I think the Facebook stream has started. Let's check that. Those of you that are watching us on Facebook, welcome. Glad you're here. Let's just make sure that I'm doing that. Martin Steed is here. Good day, sir. Well done on Saturday. Oh, crap. I was logging in from a different browser on Facebook, and so it wants a two-factor authentication, which means I have to go into Facebook and go into settings and privacy, go into code generator, and type in this number, which changes every 60 seconds. So now once I save it in the browser, I won't have to ever do that again. All right, there we go. So let's go to Streaming Idiots and see if there's a show there. Amnon says he's going to drop Facebook in favor of DLive. Okay, pray tell, what is DLive? And why would you want to drop Facebook for it? And Martin says, thanks, Tom. The gang at Madewell loved it. And for those of you that don't know, Madewell is a community in, I'm not sure if it's Martinstown or Gilestown, where folks that have learning disabilities and such live and work together. And the Streamfest was, my understanding was that Streamfest was a fundraiser for that. Amnon says it's dlive.io, and Otis is here. Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. And yes, we are live on Facebook. So let's get rid of that. And yeah, and the Madewell folks actually did their own live stream. That's right. Martin, you're so good. You are so good. Chris Peters here. Yes. Amnon says, Facebook is playing politics and banning people. A few days ago, Alex Jones. Tomorrow, maybe C2K. Ooh. Martin says it's close to Giles. Okay, thank you. Well, you know, it's free. It's their platform. It's not a First Amendment kind of thing. It's their, even though it's a publicly held company, it's still not a First Amendment right to be on Facebook. I don't think. 4.2 hours for Martin. Well, that's doable. That's better than me, where it's, you know, what is it, 14 hours by jet, and then train, and then bus. DLive is free, and it is decentralized, according to them. Ooh, decentralized. Well then. Hey, if you're just joining us, we're seconds away from getting started. Please come on over to, where's the URL? Oh, there it is, easternshorebroadcasting.com, and get in on the chat. So click Watch Live in the top menu, and then come on over to the chat. That way you can get in on Martin and Tom and Richard and Elmar and Peter and Dave and Sam and Amnon and Otis and Nick and Chris and Rudy and Edward that are in chat currently. And we'd love to have you come join them. Yes, we would. And Amnon said this is a word we will need to pay attention to from now on, in his opinion. Well, that's just it. Yeah. You know, if you play in somebody else's ballpark, you know, and you don't play in a manner that they approve of, they can ask you to leave their ballpark. Yeah. That's their ballpark. Now, should we create our own ballpark that we can play in the way we want to play? Well, there's a conversation for another day. Mark is here, and he's caught a live show. All right, well, let's get this live show on the, there we go, because we're in pre-show. So let's get this live show underway, shall we? All right. Let's see, what shall we do to get this live show? Do I remember how to do this? Golly gee, it's only been a week. All right, folks, sit tight. Here we go. Well, hello, welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair. This is Streaming Idiots. And you say, Tom, you appear so laid back, so calm, so at peace with yourself. Well, oh, who knows? Who knows? It's a crazy world we live in, isn't it? This is Streaming Idiots, a show all about live streaming and all the idiotic things and mistakes that we make. And I'm here to do something stupid at least once a week and show you what not to do. Streaming Idiots is sponsored by, and we'll get the graphic back up there again, Eastern Shore Broadcasting. And if you come to Eastern Shore Broadcasting right now, assuming you're not already there, and you click the Watch Live tab, you can watch this show and get the chat room. So if you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube directly, come on into our ballpark at easternshorebroadcasting.com, and you can get the chat and you can sign up for our email list. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can subscribe. If you're watching us on Facebook, then you've already joined our Streaming Idiots group. But if you haven't joined it, you need to. It's where all the geeky kids that are now the cool kids hang out. So come on over. Really excited about today's show. Hey, Kenny, glad to have you. And today's show is inspired by the show that was this previous Saturday that went from like 5 o'clock in the morning my time till 10 o'clock at night my time. It was a mammoth marathon streaming event called Streamfest Live. And Streamfest Live originated in England this year. Of course, every year. This is the second year. And it's primarily done by the World of Live Streaming guys. And you can go to Facebook and go to World of Live Streaming and join that group. And they talk about all sorts of streaming. They have a show on Monday afternoons, at least in the afternoons here in the U.S. It's Monday evenings in the U.K., where they talk about live streaming and do all sorts of crazy, funky experiments. And so the Streamfest this past weekend was a series of shorter shows. It wasn't, 16 hours straight, but Streaming Idiots was on Saturday night. We had a 1-hour show Saturday night. And there were all sorts of other folks that were on doing different things. My favorite probably was Tommy doing a show where he talked about live streaming for churches and a budget way to do that. So hat tip to him for that. And also to Giles and Dave and Martin and Kenny and Rudy, definitely Rudy, and Jan and all the folks behind the scenes that put that together. It was a wonderful event, and I encourage you to go to streamfestlive.com, where you can watch, at least you can watch the first 12 hours of it, because that's all that YouTube got. But they'll be posting the other hours, that includes my show, I hope, later. And you can watch as much or as little of it as you want. And I think there'll be, if you can go to the YouTube page directly in the YouTube comment, they'll have it broken out. And so you can just click a link that'll be there that will tell you what time a particular segment starts. So you can jump right to that segment. That'll be really cool. And Prashana says, Tom already started. Hope he's not reading this to get distracted. Thank you for Prashana. Prashana's in Nepal where it's like 2:30 in the morning. So if anybody can interrupt me, it's him, because that's dedication. And Joni is here too. And Kenny says the shows are posted now. Well, there you go. Okay, so it's old news. But the biggest takeaway I got, and sometimes I get the craziest takeaways from these things. I mean, things that are little things to other people I think are just huge, game changer. And for me, this was a pretty cool game changer. And here's the deal. Here's the background on it. Shall we do the stinger to give you the background? Okay, here's the stinger to give you the background. There. Okay, now we got the background. The backstory on this was that they were going to start by live streaming from the UK Saturday morning. And that at some point during the course of the day, they were going to hand that live stream off to somebody in the U.S., to Dave in SoCal in the U.S. And so they were going to start streaming in the U.K. and then hand it off and stream from the USA on the same YouTube channel, the same network, the same live feed, the same everything. It was, hey, Jerome, it was amazing. I mean, I hadn't thought about it, but what a great idea. I mean, how many ways can you do that? Can you be doing a live feed from a remote location and then send it back to the studio, because the studio is going to pick up where you left off. So if you're doing a football game and then you want to go back to the studio for some post-game analysis and call-in show, you can do it all on the same stream. You can take a multi-continental stream and divide it up as many ways as you want to. So well, actually, it's a backup stream. So if you've got a situation where you're concerned that you're going to drop out of your internet, you could have a backup stream going. Here's a scenario. Okay, here's a scenario. We could be doing Streaming Idiots, okay? And I am not on a generator here at my studio. I'm on a little power battery thing, but that's only going to last, a couple of minutes. But if the power goes out, I'm down. I'm screwed. I can't live stream if I don't have power. But if I had a remote studio, let's say the old Streaming Idiot studio back in my house, I could set up a second live stream there that would live stream a message, maybe a rotating message that says, hey, we got knocked offline. We'll be back online as soon as we can. And so if my primary feed is lost, this secondary feed kicks right in within just a few seconds, and folks are in the know. Now, I know there's services that'll do that, but you can set up your own service now that'll do that. And if I've got TeamViewer attached to it, when I get my power back up here, I just go TeamViewer in and turn that one off, and this one comes back on, and away we go. I think this has all sorts of possibilities. And as I throw it out to you guys, you're going to be thinking, well, we could do this with it. We could do that with it. We could start a show with these people on it, and then go to another show with those people on it, and then go to a third show with those people on it, and then go back to the first show. Yeah, there are lots of different ways to do that. But in this way, it allows you to actually hand off the streaming portion from one source to another source, and I just think that's so cool. I'm so excited about it. Welcome, John. Welcome. Let's see. Maria's here. Who else has slipped in? Martin has slipped in. Hassan slipped in. David slipped in. Golly, all these people slipping in. I'm going to make y'all make refreshments in the post show, like we used to do. So let's talk about how to do that. What are the mechanics of doing that? Well, this is a YouTube deal. I haven't tested it in Facebook, haven't tested it anywhere else. Amnon, you may want to take some notes and test it with some of the places for your show. But I have currently set up 2 PCs. And let me get to one of those startling graphics that I was telling you about earlier. And we'll just do a little merge to this graphic. And so we've got PC number 1, which is on the top there, and that is my good old i7 2600. Actually, I think it's a 2700K. 2600K is a, well, I'll have to check. Maybe it's a 2600K. I've overclocked it to 4 gigahertz. It's got 16 megs of RAM and a GTX 750 NVIDIA card in it with 3 gigabytes. The second PC, this PC right here, is one that I've just put into service and I'm testing. It's an i3. It's an i3 8350K, stock at 4 gigahertz, 16 gigs of RAM, and a GTX 1050 card, which is, the relative equivalent of the old 750. So not a lot of horsepower with either PC. Which is why we're kind of hooking them together and doing the show. Now, the top feed up here, way up there, whoops, sorry, went out of the chroma key. That one is the production PC. So I'm doing all my switching there, all the graphics, all the music. When I have guests, that's where all the guests go. And then the PC right here is the streaming and recording PC. And it has a limited number of inputs. I think it's got 11 inputs. And you can see the output right now is this kind of multi-view type situation. You can see the preview over there is what we had, which was the starting soon streaming idiots. And you can see down at the bottom, if you look closely, if you squint, you can see that the record button is on. And the streaming button is on. And then you can see up at that one, the streaming button is on. And they're both streaming to YouTube. Now, here's a twist. Jan says, are we in the right chat room? Yeah, Jan, I think I'm suffering from some change in the YouTube algorithm. But this is your idea, so stick around. Michael Graves is here. Hello, Michael. So I am streaming to, over here, I'm streaming to YouTube, my regular YouTube channel, and I'm using my regular YouTube stream key. And I can actually go over here and I can show you, can I show it to you without showing you what the key is? Yeah. I'm going to put my cursor over the key there so you can't see it. So this is actually streaming to two different destinations. It's streaming to YouTube and it's streaming to Facebook. And so in just a minute, I'm going to tell it, hey, stop streaming to the YouTube destination. So we'll close that one. And then we'll go back over here to our other one. And you can see right there that we've got the same stream key. So we're streaming it, and I've just got the single destination in there. So both of them are streaming simultaneously. Now the one that's the primary one is this one right over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let me get the live feed up here so I can see when it takes place, because it takes about from the time I say go till the time you guys see something will be about 30 seconds. But then it takes about 3 or 4 seconds for the switch over to occur, and you'll see a little curly cue at that point when it happens. So let's see, let's get this guy way up to current day. There we go. Are we up at current day right there? Yeah, okay, there we are. So we're about, oh, that's right, it was only about 10 seconds behind earlier. So I'm going to go over to the second PC. And I am going to configure stream settings, and I'm going to stop stream. Actually, I don't have to do it right there. There's a little drop down next to that. And we will stop stream number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Stop. Now, we've stopped that stream, and we'll see how long before it takes effect that that stream has stopped and the new stream kicks in, and you'll be able to tell because you'll get a little curly cue in the middle. And am I getting a curly cue there? No, I haven't seen it yet. Maybe we just got lucky and it switched over really, really quickly today. So let's verify that we're not streaming over there. Yep, stream number 1 is off. And we'll come back over here, and stream number 2 is on. Yep. So maybe it just happened really, really fast. And I didn't get it. Did you guys see the changeover? I didn't see it. Heck fire. Maybe we'll give it a few more minutes and make sure we didn't miss something. All right, Rich says there was a SAC replay during the transaction. All right, so we switched over. Now, I'm going to go back to this one right here and turn it back on, and then I'm going to go turn that one off. So we'll see if it's... Oh, and by the way, did I tell you? This is not a backup stream. I use the same stream URL and the same stream key for both of these. Amnon says the stream key is still red, though, on the bottom one. Yeah, that's because that's the Facebook stream. Because we're streaming on this one right here, we're streaming to Facebook and YouTube. And I just turned off the YouTube one. Whereas on that one up there, we're streaming just to YouTube. So that's the rationale there. So let's turn the YouTube one back on. We'll come over here. And we'll say, see where it says start streaming 1 YouTube Live. You probably can't see that because it's too small. And it says stop streaming live API Facebook. So we'll start the YouTube stream. And you see it turned orange for a second. And then we'll come over here. Now nothing is happening from, and you see it turned orange for a second. And then we'll come over here. Now nothing is happening from, from your sense. You're still seeing the stream from that guy right there. But I'm going to turn that guy off in just a second. You're still seeing the stream from that guy right there. But I'm going to turn that guy off in just a second. We'll give this guy just, I'm confused on my sides. I know he's over there, but in real life, for me, he's over here. Maybe I should have put myself, I'm confused on my sides. I know he's over there, but in real life, for me, he's over here. Maybe I should have put myself on that side. Rich says there was a 3-2-1 auto repeat of your. Rich says there was a 3-2-1 auto repeat of your audio that happened right after you stopped the main stream. Aha. Okay. Audio that happened right after you stopped the main stream. Aha. Okay. And Rich says, careful. I played with it a while ago. The stream keys are based on the first come, first. And Rich says, careful, I played with it a while ago. The stream keys are based on the first come, first served. That's right. And so right now, that guy has the ball. He's streaming served. That's right. And so right now, that guy has the ball. He's streaming on the same key that this guy's streaming on, and we're going to turn him off and see if that guy still happens. And did I check this far the other day? That this guy's streaming on, and we're going to turn him off and see if that guy still happens. And did I check this far the other day? I'm not. Anyway, let's turn this guy off. Sure if I did. Anyway, let's turn this guy off. 3, 2, 1, off. All right, he's off. And we'll see, are we going to get the spinning wheel of death for a second? Or will we get a repeated last few seconds? Yeah, there's the spinning wheel. 1 spin, 2 spins, 3 spins, 4 spins, 5 spins, 6 spins, 7 spins, 8 spins, 9 spins, 10 spins, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21. Yeah, looks like we may have to go restart this one over here. Okay. And let's see if that comes back. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Did I lose you guys? I'm going to type that into chat. Did I lose you guys? Question mark. So let's refresh the browser and see if that makes any difference. Check 1, 2. For a moment. Stream is fine, says Kenny. Okay. Mark said he had to refresh. Yeah, I'm monitoring it here, and the little spinning wheel of death spun. I counted 12 spins, and I assume at that point it wasn't coming back. So I turned this stream back off and then turned it back on again. And that's when you got me back. So it was not as smooth as the first switch over. Interesting. So it would be interesting to set up a series of, more than 2. Jan says it seems to have lost some time here, is now a bit more behind than before. And Amnon had to reload the page. Yeah, I had to reload the page too. So if we were going to do this with more than 2 locations, or do it more than 2 locations, being location number 1 switches to location number 2, that is one switch, If we were to do it to 3 or more, we'd have to play with it. Rich said he got a minute buffer. Daniel said, I didn't get any notice you guys were going live today. Well, Daniel, we were trying to hide from you. We didn't want you to see. Okay. All right. So anyway, let's go back to a shot that looks something like me. There we go. So turning it off again actually worked. Yes, it did. It actually did. And Chris is on Android, and it only had about a 2-second loss. Well, that's good. So that's nice to see. I really think this has a lot of potential. I think it has a lot of potential. I mean, is it perfect? No. Is it as good as a switch? No. Are there other ways to do the same thing? Sure, probably there are. If you can live stream from a venue to the cloud to get to your CDN, then you could set up a vMix call and stream back to your studio on that and have the studio switch over. The wife has got me confused here. Then you could use vMix call and switch back to your studio and go live from there. But in terms of setting up, a backup stream, this has some real potential. It has some real potential. And I'm kind of excited about it and can't wait to actually use it in a for real circumstance to see if it provides a benefit. One of the ways that I wonder if it would work with YouTube. I don't know. I wonder if it would work with Facebook is what I meant to say, because YouTube has, in its very nature, in its ingestion settings, the ability to set up a backup server, which is not what we were doing today. Today we were using the same server and streaming 2 streams to the same server, stream 1 and stream 2, and then cutting stream 1 and leaving stream 2 as the remaining stream, and then turning stream 1 back on and cutting stream 2, and then we had to restart this one in order, at least on my end, I had to restart it in order for me to see it. Maybe I just needed to refresh my browser. Maybe that's what it was. Rich says the audience viewer may drop due to lower resolution during the transition and picks up the new stream consistently. And I think it may be the kind of thing that if I were to use this regularly, for example, you guys knew exactly what I was doing. You were in the know. You knew there was going to be some sort of transition. I don't think I would want to do this intentionally without making the audience aware of it, without bringing everybody on board. You know, people are down on what they're not up on. So if they see the stream buffer, they may say, I wasn't that interested to begin with. I'm out of here. Unless they know that it was buffering for a reason and there was a way. The other thing is the whole concept of a backup stream. A backup stream on a separate PC, in this case it's 2 PCs that just happen to be in the same location. But the second PC could have been at a remote location with an entirely different message streaming in the, kind of in the background, just in case, that says, we're sorry our stream was interrupted. We'll get it back on as soon as we can. Now, I can think of a situation, and again, we don't know if it works with every CDN, but if you're doing, let's say you're doing sports this fall, you're doing football this fall, and you're out in the field, and you've got a internet connection that's a little iffy. Why not let your studio stream a backup message that says, sorry, we've been interrupted. We'll be back on as soon as we can. Rich says he uses the restream.io service, and it sends a stream after he closes his YouTube, Facebook, or CDN, and it stays active for about 30 seconds or more. But what we're talking about right here is the whole idea of a one or very few staffed situation where you can have that backup message kick in within 3 or 4 seconds if you go down. And then via remote access, like TeamViewer or something like that, be able to go in and stop that second stream when you get your primary stream back on again. So Ovanas wants to know, will it also work with Facebook? Well, will it work with Facebook? I'll tell you what we'll do. We will test that in the post show. How about? So if you're watching this show after the fact, you need to come and watch us live, because a lot of the good stuff happens in the post show. Kenny says it's buffering there now. Well, that's not because we're doing anything funky. We're just sending one single stream again. So maybe we do have some thunderstorms in the area, so maybe something is operating a little slower. Kenny said he refreshed and it's all good. There you go. All right. So yeah, it's an inexact science, but we're tinkering with things that probably weren't intended to be tinkered with, and we can blame Jan for that, because he's the one that came up with the idea. And his idea essentially, excuse me, no, you weren't keeping me up, I promise. His idea was that you could use the whole idea of the backup server in YouTube. So you stream on PC number 1, you stream on the primary stream. PC number 2, you stream using the backup server. And when you turn off the first server, the backup server picks up automatically. In our case here today, we were streaming, stream number 1 was on the first server, the primary server, and stream number 2 was on the primary server. So they were both getting a signal, or both of them sending a signal, but the first one to the BAT, the first one to the CDN, won. And we will try that on Facebook in the post show. So what do I need to do that? Well, we'll start that in post show. Now comes one of my favorite times in the show. Yes. And that is because this show is not just we'll turn that off for a second. This show is not just a show for your entertainment. Well, maybe it is. I'm trying to think of a catchy way to introduce this, but let's just do it. Okay, so this is the whole show is an infomercial, and here's the commercial part of it. We've had the info fun. We represent PMIX. We represent PTZ Optics and X Keys and Yuan and Magewell and Bird Dog, and you see him scrolling in the back. Martin K did such a lovely job with that, and those guys just parade through. I'm so proud of them coming through like that. I mean, look at the animation on those cameras. It really is amazing. Anyway, we represent all those companies, and we also, when I say represent, that is we sell their stuff. But we sell their stuff with kind of the idea that we use their stuff. So when you call and say, Tom, I got a PTZ Optics camera, it's a 20X, it's got NDI, and it's lost its memory. What do I do? Well, I've had the same thing happen to me, and I can coach you through what works. Tom, I've got the X Keys XK68, and I want to use it as joystick with the X Keys new NDI controller. But I noticed when I set it up for the first time, it doesn't work. Well, yeah, I noticed the same thing too. Let me tell you how to work around that. So you're dealing with somebody that not only sells this stuff, but uses the stuff. So I know it inside and out. It's not just like talking to a salesman at the used car dealership who just wants to sell you something and then get you off of the lot before it breaks. The PCs, we actually build PCs for folks that want PCs for live streaming, and we put a 3-year warranty on them because, number one, you ought to have a 3-year warranty. I mean, if somebody's selling you something and doesn't think it's going to last 3 years, yeah, Tom, yes, I could put a 5-year warranty on it, but frankly, I think after 3 years, it's pretty much obsolete. Yeah, it'll still work. It'll still do everything it intended to do. And with our 3-year warranty, we'll make sure that you make it through those 3 years. If anything breaks, we'll fix it or have it fixed. We have, I would say, I used to call it unlimited tech support. What I'm calling it now is lifetime tech support. Yours or mine, whichever ends first. But the idea is that you can call anytime, and if it's our PC with the vMix software on it, and of course we're vMix's #1 reseller here in the U.S., then we're going to be able to tell you that great interface between the PC and the software. I was talking to somebody the other day that was running vMix, which they didn't buy from us, on a PC that they didn't buy from us, but they did want to get some help from us. And I said, okay, we can go with a quick question. And he said, well, you know, we've got, what was it? We have a Roland switcher that feeds the PC that we had somebody build for us that is running vMix. And the Roland switcher people said that FFmpeg was the problem. And I said, oh, God, that's more than just a short question. But we did get them straightened out. Actually, it took a few minutes, but we got them back on board, and hopefully they'll think about us the next time they need to buy something in that category. But you do want somebody that understands how this stuff works inside and outside, and how things relate one to the other, how the video card relates, those kinds of things. I can see that I'm going on far too long with this commercial part. So let me sum it up to say, if I can help you in any way. Whoops, where is it? There we go. We turned it off. We turned it back on again. Let's try again. There we go. EasternShoreBroadcasting.com. There's a contact page there where you can send us a note, although my phone number's on the contact page too. Do you ever see that a lot? You go to somebody's website and there's a contact form, but they don't list their email and they don't list a phone number. It's like, are you really supposed to contact them? And maybe they'll get back to you. Well, my phone number's there, so if you need me, call me. Don't call me in the middle of the night, though, please. Suffice to say, this was a infomercial, mostly info, but far too much commercial. Let's wind up this show. Don't forget, next week, Dennis Washington is going to be on to talk about church marketing as it lives in the high-tech technical age. But stick around for the post show, because we're going to break the internet on the post show. Be right back on the post show. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, it was a commercial today, wasn't it? Sorry about that. And that's it, folks. And we're out. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go back to the main shot, even though this is officially post-show. This is officially post-show. Officially post-show. Everybody got it? If you're watching it on YouTube, come on over to the Eastern Shore Broadcasting. Yeah, there it is, right there, EasternShoreBroadcasting.com. So you can get on the chat. If you're watching us on Facebook, definitely come over there, because we're fixing to mess with the Facebook feed. All right, so we've got, let's go back to our diagram here. Where's our diagram? Here it is, right there, there. All right, so we're in post-show. All right, Rich has got to go to the California DMV. Foo, dude. He may miss next week's show if the line's too long. All right. My condolences, Rich. Take care. All right, so we've got two PCs running here. You can see PC #1 up at the top. That's the production PC. PC #2 is streaming and recording. And you can see the little, whoops, I can't point all the way over there because I go out of the green screen. But you can see that by the little red, what would you call it, little red button, that's the streaming button on PC #2. There is no little red button streaming on PC #1 because we're not streaming with PC #1. But we're going to set PC, and PC #2 is currently streaming to Facebook, the Streaming Idiots page, and YouTube, the Eastern Shore Broadcasting page. Let's see. Jan was just saying, if you have several potential places to buy something, I'll start by filtering out those who do not provide physical addresses, phone numbers, or emails within 3 clicks on their website. Well, woo, I'm 1 click, so there we go. All right, so we need to set up a stream on PC #1 to Facebook so that we can turn to the same Facebook stream so that we can turn off Facebook on PC #2. So let's go into the stream settings and let's see if we can find a Facebook Yeah, I don't think that's a good key. I'm gonna change them all after the show anyway, so don't worry. So let's go into Facebook. We'll do that off screen for just a minute so I can maintain some privacy around here. Gee whiz. All right, so let's go to Facebook, and we're going to go to the Streaming Idiots page, and let's go to live video, and we should see this. Oh, it wants to access my camera, but now we'll go back to that, and this is the secure connection. Yeah, we better do that. So let's copy that in. Copy, paste, and then we'll get the key, copy, paste, save, and then let's make sure we've got the right. Can we just stream? Start stream to API Facebook. Okay. Wonder what's going to happen when we do this. Yeah, we may be streaming to the same Facebook page in two different locations. All right, so there it is on Facebook. So now let's go and see if we're streaming two simultaneous streams in two different places on Facebook. So we'll go to streamingidiots.com, and yeah, I mean, you can do this too. And under the announcements is our first stream, and then he's live now. So I don't see a second stream. All right. So for those of you that are members of the Streaming Idiots group on Facebook, you can go to Streaming Idiots group and see this show right now. So go on over there so that you can get the full experience. If you're not a member of Streaming Idiots, then what are you waiting for? You just have to take our word for it. I could screen cap it. Okay, you're right. I'll do that. So let's do an NDI desktop capture, screen capture. We want display number 2. All right, so this is display number 2 right here. You can see, we'll go ahead and get that playing. And we'll mute it so it doesn't feed back on you, so you can see there it is. There it is. We're a little behind there, but there's that one. And we got 11 people there watching, 10 now. Back to 11. Okay, you get the idea. So let's go over to, we're going to go back over here. We're going to go over to this stream right here, and we're going to turn off the Facebook stream because we already got the Facebook stream going there, and let's see if it transfers over. Okay, so we're getting crazy here. So let's go over to our second PC, and we're going to stop the Facebook stream. Still going on YouTube, but we're just stopping the Facebook stream. All right. So let's switch back over to the Facebook stream here, so those of you that are not on it can see what's going on. And it stopped. Aha, it stopped. But no, it's got a go button. So let's press the go button. What does the go button say? The go button says, hey, press the go button again. And press it again. And press it again. How about we'll do a restart? Oh, now we got something else happening. And I would say it's not working. Let's go to Streaming Idiots and see if there's a different stream going there. Well, that's the one that was going before. Now they're saying we're live now. So let's see what happens if we press that one. Oh, we're back in the same loop we were in before. So I think we can safely say that our experiment does not work on Facebook. Let's see if we can restart the, let's kill the stream here. Turn that one off, and then we'll restart the original stream. That was the Facebook stream there. And we'll come back over here. And the live button just kicked on. I don't know if you guys saw that. Let's see if we can go there. No. It's live, but it's not. Let's restart Facebook. Go to Eastern Shore Broadcast. Nope, we meant to go to Streaming Idiots. Sorry about that. Actually, there was a live Eastern Shore Broadcasting. Live. How did we get live there? Live video? No, I think we're in the same loop-de-loop we got in before. How about that? Let's try one more thing. Streaming Idiots. And we'll go back to that one. So it looks like this is not going to work in Facebook. That's the simple. that's the simplest way of putting it. It bombed. Not only did it not work when we tried to switch from one computer to the other, when we went back to the first computer and said stream and stream, Chris says you can't stream to the same post. It will break it up. In this case, apparently we can't stream to anywhere after we've streamed. I mean, I'm sure there's a period of time where eventually Facebook would consider it a separate post, but I don't see that it's going to allow us to do it today. Nope, just as soon as I do that, as soon as I did that, there we went. Oh, now it says the live video is interrupted. So maybe that was just the dregs, the tail end of the last one. So we'll leave that. All right, so what have we learned? What have we learned? Well, we've learned that, number one, it doesn't seem that Facebook operates in the same way that YouTube does. YouTube, although YouTube's been going for a long time, that probably means some of their technology is a little bit more antiquated than Facebook, maybe not quite tuned in the same direction. So Facebook you can trick into switching streams at least once. And so it may be that the technology from Facebook says, hey, look, we're expecting one stream from you. Don't try to confuse us with anything else. We just want the one stream. Oh, and it started again. I heard it. And now it says this live video has ended. Well, it hasn't ended because I'm still streaming to it, but apparently it's not going anywhere. What happens if I refresh this page? One more time. One more time. It says Eastern Shore Broadcasting was live and their video will be available soon. And that's it. How about that? So that's the word on the street, folks. It is a YouTube trick. Jan says it's more fun if you have different titles on the two streams. Well, I agree. And I will take offense to that. I sure will. I mean, I will take the responsibility for that. Jonia says, let's face it, Facebook isn't as good as YouTube. They're a year behind. And I think in some ways they are. I mean, obviously Facebook doesn't allow 1080p or 4K streaming. But when you consider, I think their goals are different. Facebook is out there to develop a vibrant live community. YouTube primarily is a video on demand service, whereas we're using vMix to stream to Facebook and YouTube, and we're using them both for their live capacity and both for their on-demand capacity. But it is the YouTube on-demands that we get more hits with in terms of people that are looking for something in the past, because YouTube does a better job at that. Facebook does a great job at taking a community, building that community, and letting a live stream go into that community. And so, you know, two different ways of doing similar things, but not the same things. Oh, I see my phone is ringing now. Caller ID says Mark Zucker. We'll get that one later. Just teasing. Jan says YouTube behaved a bit in the same way about a year ago. Once a live stream was deemed ended, you could not start a stream with the same name until post-processing was complete. Yeah, and in vMix, let's go to that. If you use the vMix API for YouTube, you have two of them. You have YouTube Live Stream Now and YouTube Live. And the YouTube Live Stream Now had about a 5-minute delay in it. So if you cut a stream and you wanted to use the YouTube Live Stream Now option, you better get used to waiting. But if you use the YouTube Live option, it is more responsive. That's been my experience lately. Mark says we have similar issues with our CDNs, Limelight, and Azure. Limelight is a lot more flexible. Azure requires authorizing it again if we restart the stream. At least that's the way it's set up for us. Yeah, and I think that's the way it's set up for a lot of people. And it'll be interesting to see if that changes over the years, if it becomes more flexible, less rules, or if it goes just the opposite way. That is, each stream, once a stream is ended, it is deemed a completed stream, and so you must sign up to do another stream. One of the things I love about YouTube is, you know, I just click the stream button and it goes, and it shows up on my website, which is where I have my YouTube page embedded. Facebook, I have to schedule it. I have to schedule it in advance. Now, I could start it, but I would still have to go to the Facebook stream page and allow it to start there. I mean, I could start a stream from vMix, but by the time it got to Facebook, I would have to restart it again there. So there you go. Well, that's the long and short of it, folks. YouTube works. Facebook doesn't. Be interested to hear from anybody else that's tested any or that will be testing any other CDNs, either paid or free, to see if you can get that same kind of deal. That is, you've got two different PCs in two different locations, or maybe the same location, and they're both streaming to the same URL, stream URL, and same stream key, or maybe they have a situation where they have a backup URL, backup server. And a lot of that, frankly, I think is sort of left over from the Flash Media Live Encoder days, where in Flash Media Live Encoder, there was a place for you to put the name of the backup server. In YouTube, in vMix, I haven't seen it ask me for a backup server name like ever. So maybe it's there, but I haven't seen it. Anyway, don't forget, next week we've got Dennis Washington on to talk about, what is we talking about? Church marketing in the age of technology. Now, is it going to be church streaming marketing or church marketing? Really, it's going to be the whole concept of how do you use technology to market your church, to promote your church, to get people to come to your church, to get people to watch your church, to get people to understand what it is you believe. I mean, all of the above. The mission of the church is to spread the good news that, that God sent his son into the world for everybody, and that's all inclusive. And so that's the main message from my perspective. But we'll have to see. Yeah, Michael says churches need marketing. Yeah, churches need marketing. Churches do a bad job of marketing for the most part. But we're going to talk about the technology of using Facebook with churches next week, and YouTube, and live streaming. Of course, Dennis does a lot with his church, And I think you guys will take a lot from it. And, you know, if you're not a church person and you find that subject offensive, I'm sorry, but you can tune in anyway and find out some good tips and tricks on marketing, and then just don't pay attention to the church part of it. So there you go. Otis says, yeah, we stream to Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. Good for you. Good for you. All right, guys. Going to take off for now. I will see you next week. If I can help you in any way, you know how to reach me, easternshorebroadcasting.com. Go to the Contact Me page, or the Contact, maybe, I think it just says Contact. And the phone number's there, and you can send an email through that. I don't think, the reason we don't put the email address there is because we do get a lot of spam stuff. So you can use the contact form, and there's a little, you know, I'm not a robot thing there that ensures that you're not a robot. Unless you're Rudy, then it's okay. Or you can call us, and if you're Mark Zuckerberg, I probably won't take your call. No, I will. Mark, it's okay. You can call now. I'll be off this show in just a second. Guys, I'm going to let this run out for just a minute so it doesn't cut you right off. You can stay and chat as long as you like, and I'll see you next week. Oh, and by the way, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Catch you later.